Everybody got a beer? You guys ready for the show?
I'm so proud of you. You're awesome.
Hello and welcome to the Funny One Show. I am your host for this evening. My name is Chad Fogland. We have a really good lineup for you tonight. We have some seasoned professional comedians, and we also have some brand new baby comedians. That's right.
He looks right at you when he says that.
Some of the comedians you're going to see tonight, this is their very first stand-up showcase. I'm sure they know who they are. I'm sure you know who they are if you know who they are. Give it up for them. Come on, man. Give it up for yourself for coming and supporting live comedy. Yeah! Give it up for Hop Yard for being here.
Yeah!
Give it up for me! You know, I know a lot of our new comedians are a little nervous tonight, so I thought that I'd start the show off with my origin story. You see, I've been doing comedy for well over 20 years, but it hasn't always been easy. I knew I wanted to do comedy way back when I was a little child. In fact, there's an interview on a VHS tape. That's a way of video. I look over there because they're young. I mean, no disrespect. I love you guys. Millennials. Okay, boomer. That was hey, fuck yeah, man. That was a great zinger. No, I agree with it. I'm Generation X. I mean, we don't give a shit. Anyway, so there's an interview when I was 8 years old. My father asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I was raised on Saturday Night Live and R-rated comedies of the late 70s and 80s. And my favorite star of those comedies was Steve Martin. Yeah. Give it up for Steve Martin.
Yeah!
Check out his new show on Hulu, Only Murders in the Building. Anyway. So Steve Martin just made a movie before my 8th birthday called The Lonely Guy. So when I was asked what I want to be when I grow up, I said very loud, a lonely guy. Obviously I want to grow up to be Steve Martin. 10 years later when I was in high school and my high school guidance counselor asked me what I wanted to do with my life, I was much more articulate. I said, yeah, I want to do comedy. I want to be a comedian. I want to make people laugh. And my guidance counselor said, no. You're not good at that. You'll never make that. That's really hard. You can draw. Stick with that, kid. So with my dreams crushed, I went to art school for 4 years. But the comedy bug never left me. And when I was a senior at college, I finally signed up for my first open mic. I was very nervous. I was very, very scared. I didn't even want to go. Like, honest to God. But I signed up and I went up there and I got up on stage and I completely bombed. Not a laugh, not a chuckle, not even a smile. Afterwards, the host came up to me and he said, hey, guess what? You're not good at comedy. You were really bad. You should probably not do this anymore. But what he didn't know was standing up in front of behind that mic and standing up in front of those stone cold faces, a spark was lit inside me. I knew that that's what I had to do. So for the next few years, I spent myself going up in front of strangers, bombing. One time, a guy paid me $50 to get off stage. It was a lot of work, uphill battle. Eventually, I moved to Los Angeles, California, because I decided that I really wanted to see how far I could go making people not like me. I was in Los Angeles for about 6 months when I saw in the LA Weekly, which is a weekly publication in Los Angeles, if you didn't know, that Steve Martin himself was going to do a book signing at a bookstore on the Sunset Strip. Now this is super rare, you guys. Steve Martin does not do public appearances. He does not do this, ever. Never, ever. So, I didn't want to go because I was too scared. But at the last minute I decided, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fight the courage. I'm gonna go into the Steve Martin book signing. So I got there and there was a line out the door. I got in line, really nervous and really scared. The girl in front of me is super excited, and she's telling everybody in line the same story. She's like, oh my God, you guys, 2 months ago I was living in Minnesota, and I had a dream where I was making out with Steve Martin in front of a library in Los Angeles. I woke up and I was like, I don't want to move to LA, but now I'm here. And guys, here's the kicker. Whenever I have a dream where I make out with somebody, it comes true in real life. So I heard this story dozens of times. And many of the people in line heard it, regardless if they wanted to or not. We all heard this story. Eventually we got to the end of the line, and there's Steve Martin. He's sitting at his desk, he's signing books, and the girl in front of me goes up to him. And of course, she says, oh my God, Steve Martin, I gotta tell you this. I had a dream 2 months ago. I was making out with you in front of a library in Los Angeles, and I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna move to LA, but now I'm living here. And here's the thing, Steve Martin. Every time I have a dream where I'm making out with somebody, it comes true in real life. Steve Martin signs her book, looks up, directly in the eye, and says, well, I'll be at the Santa Monica Library at 7 p.m. tonight. The girl immediately turns into a puddle of goo and washes out the door. Now it's my turn. I'm full of butterflies, emotions. I can't fucking believe it. This is the guy who made me want to be a comedian. So I go up there and I give him my book. It's a copy of Cruel Shoes.
Yeah.
I'm the only one in line who has Cruel Shoes. Steve Martin goes, it's been a long time since I've seen this book. And then I decided, well, I'm here. See, here's the thing. When I moved to LA, I decided that I'd have these cards printed up. On one side of the card, it had my signature. On the other side, it had was a certificate of authenticity that says you've met Chad Fogland. And I would go up to celebrities, my idea, and I've done this, and another story for another time is all the celebrities I did this to. But I'd go up to celebrities in LA and I'd say, how about an autograph? And they'd say yes, and I'd give them mine and walk away. So I said to Steve Martin, as nervous as I could possibly be, I said, well, since you're giving us your autograph, maybe you'd like one too. And he looked at the card, flipped it over, and he smiled and he laughed, and he stood up and he pulled it up above his head and looked at down the line of other people and said, see, it's not just about you. Maybe I want an autograph too. And he sat back down, and I was over the moon. The emotions, the energy, the adrenaline was flushing through me, and before I knew it, I spurted it out. And I didn't think about it, it just happened, and I didn't know what I was saying until it was done, but I said, oh my God, Steve Martin, so just a heads up, I had a dream one time where we made out in front of a meat market in Los Angeles. And I woke up and I was like, I'm not gay, but here I am. And Steve Martin laughed, smiled, and looked up at me and said, that was very funny. At which point I promptly turned to a puddle of water and flushed out the door. But that is proof that it doesn't matter who tells you you can't do anything. If you know you should, you should. And to this day, if I ever see Rod Shada, my high school guidance counselor, I'm going to look him straight in the eye, I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm going to say, fuck you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with our first comedian of the night.